Imagine a time when a simple cut could kill you, a time when infections had no cure and people died from diseases we barely think about today. Let me give you a story. In 1928, a Scottish scientist, Alexander Fleming, noticed something extraordinary in his lab. A mold called Penicillium notatum had contaminated one of his petri dishes, and the bacteria around it had been killed. Fleming realized that the mold was producing a substance that could destroy bacteria. He called it penicillin. By the 1940s, penicillin was mass produced and became a miracle drug, saving countless lives during World War II. Soldiers who would have died from infected wounds or diseases like pneumonia were now surviving it. It seemed like humanity had won the war against bacterial infections. But Fleming himself warned of a potential danger. In his 1945 Nobel Prize acceptance speech, he said that if we misuse antibiotics, bacteria will learn to fight back. He was right, and today his warning has come true. Now let us learn, what is antibiotics? Antibiotics are medicines that kill bacteria or stop them from growing. They have saved millions of lives since the first antibiotic. Penicillin was discovered in 1928. Before antibiotics, even small cuts or infections could be deadly. Let us understand, what is antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance happens when bacteria change over time and become stronger. These stronger bacteria can survive the antibiotics that used to kill them. This means the antibiotics don't work anymore. Infections become harder to treat. People stay sick longer and some may even die. But let us understand, how does resistance happen? Bacteria are tiny living things that can multiply very quickly. When antibiotics are used, most bacteria die, but a few might survive because they are naturally a bit different. This is called mutation. These surviving bacteria then multiply, creating more resistant bacteria. Think of it like this. Antibiotics are like weed killer for bacteria. If a few weeds survive the weed killer, they grow back stronger and spread. Sooner the weed killer doesn't work anymore. Why is resistance a problem? One, infections become harder to treat. Common infections like UTI, pneumonia, or even small wounds can become life-threatening if antibiotics don't work. Two, surgeries become riskier. Surgeries, chemotherapy, and organ transplants rely on antibiotics to prevent infections. Without effective antibiotics, these procedures become much more dangerous. Three, costs go up. Treating resistant infections takes more time, stronger drugs, and longer hospital stays, which cost a lot money. So what causes antibiotic resistance? And overuse of antibiotics. Taking antibiotics when they are not needed, like for a cold or flu, which are caused by viruses, not bacteria, gives bacteria more chances to become resistant. Not finishing the course. Stopping antibiotics early when you feel better but the infection is not fully gone lets the strongest bacteria survive and multiply. 3. Using farming. Antibiotics are often given to healthy animals to make them grow faster or prevent disease. This creates resistant bacteria that can spread to humans through food or the environment. You see, there was a time when we thought science could fix everything. If one antibiotic stopped working, we could make a new one. But now we are running out of options. Some bacteria are now resistant to all non-antibiotics. Have been given names, the superbugs. Imagine being in a hospital with an infection no drug can treat. Imagine doctors helplessly watching as bacteria spread, knowing there is nothing left to fight them. And remember, this is not science fiction, it's happening right now. If we don't act, we could return to the world before antibiotics, a world where a small wound could be fatal. where surgery is dangerous, and where common infections become deadly again. Think of routine surgeries, C-sections, knee replacements, organ transplants. Without antibiotics, these procedures will be too risky. Even childbirth could become life-threatening again. So what can we do? This is not just a problem for doctors. It's a problem for all of us. Here's how you can fight back. 1. Use antibiotics only when truly needed. They are not for colds, flu, or minor illnesses. You cannot use antibiotics like sweets. 2. Finish the full course of antibiotics. Stopping early lets the strongest bacteria survive. 3. Avoid antibiotics in food. Choose meat from animals raised without unnecessary antibiotics. 4. Spread awareness. Tell people. Many people don't even know this is happening. The more we talk about it, the more we can change. So, Fleming gave us a warning, and now we are living in the reality he feared. The fight against antibiotic resistance isn't about the future. It's happening now. If we don't act, we may wake up one day in a world where antibiotics no longer work, and there will be no second chance. The question is, will we listen before it's too late? Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell to get notified as soon as I post any video. See you in the next video.